Sparks shower the freezing Ohio River as heavy steel beams snap like dry twigs. Someone screams in absolute terror from a crashing car, shouting out that it was here. To understand the nightmare that crushed this town, we must step back to November 19th, 1966, when an ordinary rural community had no idea what hunted in the shadows. It began quietly near the Old Town Cemetery, where local gravediggers reported seeing a massive, dark figure launch itself from the tree line and vanish silently into the cold night sky. Just outside town sat the abandoned World War II munitions plant, a labyrinth of concrete igloos and overgrown access roads that quickly became the epicenter of unspeakable terror. Two young couples driving near the TNT plant slammed on their brakes when a towering gray shape stepped out, fixing them with two hypnotic, glowing red eyes that burned like embers. As the driver floored the accelerator, the winged behemoth effortlessly kept pace, gliding silently above the speeding automobile while emitting a piercing shriek that chilled their very souls. They burst into the local sheriff's office in sheer panic, babbling about a giant birdman with glowing eyes. The deputies listened, skeptical at first, but the sheer terror was undeniable. Local newspapers picked up the bizarre tale by morning, printing sensational headlines that branded the mysterious creature with a name that would echo through history forever. Inspired by a popular comic book villain, reporters dubbed the entity the Mothman. What started as a local campfire legend quickly escalated into a widespread regional obsession and fear. Days turned into weeks, and the sightings multiplied across Mason County. More witnesses stepped forward, describing a 7-foot-tall humanoid monster with no head and terrifying red eyes. Mrs. Millette watched in absolute horror as the winged entity stared at her through her living room window, its glowing eyes reflecting the terrified screams caught in her throat. Fear gripped Point Pleasant. Parents kept their children indoors after dark, and hunters locked their doors, whispering that the woods had become home to something ancient and evil. Mysterious tragedies struck local farms. Several dogs were found dead under strange circumstances, their bodies drained of energy and leaving owners panicked and desperate for answers. Brave locals ventured into the TNT area armed with shotguns, determined to hunt down whatever was terrorizing their homes, but they found only chilling silence and freezing winds. Throughout the county, televisions and radios began malfunctioning. Bizarre, high-pitched electronic screeches interrupted broadcasts, terrifying residents who believed the creature controlled technology. Stranger still were the visitors who arrived in town. Ominous men wearing identical black suits and dark sunglasses began appearing, warning witnesses to stay silent about what they saw. Eyewitnesses reported bizarre encounters with a smiling entity named Indrid Cold, a strange man who claimed to know everything about human fears and the impending doom facing the valley. Strange lights filled the night sky above Mason County. Glowing orange discs hovered silently over the TNT bunkers, linking the Mothman phenomenon to unexplained aerial anomalies. Ornithologists and scientists rushed to the town, attempting to dismiss the panic as a massive sandhill crane or a stray owl, but locals knew no ordinary bird possessed such glowing eyes. Paranoia infected every household. Neighbors suspected neighbors, whispers filled local diners, and every shadow cast by a street lamp felt like a giant winged monster waiting to strike. Salesman Woodrow Derenberger claimed a grinning man in a flying saucer stopped his car on the highway, telepathically communicating messages of impending global catastrophe and future tragedy. The relentless dread began wearing down the town's resilience. Insomnia became common, and people avoided traveling alone after sunset, fearing the red eyes would find them in the dark. Investigators mapped every sighting location, realizing the creature's appearances formed a deliberate pattern centered around the old munitions storage area, and the nearby Ohio River banks. Some spiritual leaders in the valley whispered that the monster was an ancient omen of disaster, sent to warn human beings of a terrible tragedy waiting just around the corner. Connecting West Virginia to Ohio, the Silver Bridge stood as a vital economic lifeline for daily commuters, carrying thousands of unsuspecting vehicles across the mighty river every single day. Just days before the catastrophe, motorists reported seeing a large, winged silhouette perched atop the cold steel towers of the Silver Bridge, watching the traffic flow below in silence. December arrived with freezing temperatures and heavy gray fog that rolled off the Ohio River, coating the quiet town in an icy shroud and heightening the lingering sense of dread. Despite the mounting fear, life went on. Workers crossed the bridge to their jobs, families prepared for the upcoming holidays, and the terrifying sightings began to fade from daily conversations. On the afternoon of December 15, 1966, the weather turned harsh. Sleet began to fall across the valley, slicking the highways and icing the old steel bridge cables. By late afternoon, rush hour traffic choked the approach to the Silver Bridge. Cars, bumper to bumper, crept slowly toward the span, weighed down by holiday shoppers and tired evening commuters. Just moments before disaster struck, a passing driver claimed to see a dark, massive shape crouched silently upon the bridge's main suspension chain, staring down with glowing red eyes. At exactly 5 o'clock, a deafening metallic groan echoed across the river. Eye bars in the suspension chain fractured under decades of stress and undetected corrosion, beginning the catastrophic failure. In a matter of seconds, the entire suspension bridge buckled inward. Tons of heavy steel twisted and plunged into the freezing, dark waters of the Ohio River, taking dozens with it. Panic erupted instantly along both riverbanks. Shouts for help pierced the freezing air as survivors struggled in the icy water while rescue sirens wailed in the immediate distance. First responders arrived to find a scene of utter devastation. Twisted girders blocked access, and families wept on the shoreline, searching desperately for loved ones trapped in the wreckage. When the dust finally settled and the rescue operations concluded, 46 people had lost their lives in the disaster, plunging Point Pleasant into an era of deep, unimaginable grief. In the immediate aftermath of the tragedy, survivors and witnesses remembered the strange creature. Rumors spread rapidly through the grieving town that the Mothman had vanished forever. As quickly as it had arrived in Point Pleasant, the sightings stopped. The red eyes were never seen again near the TNT area, leaving behind only unanswered questions and lingering fear. Federal investigators traced the bridge collapse to a microscopic crack in a single eyebar joint, attributing the disaster strictly to structural metal fatigue and heavy wartime weight limits. While engineers blamed metal fatigue, many townspeople remained utterly unconvinced. They believed the mechanical failure was merely the physical manifestation of a supernatural warning. The lingering question haunted every investigator. Was the Mothman a harbinger of doom, trying desperately to warn the people of Point Pleasant before the bridge gave way? Or was it simply an otherworldly spectator, drawn to the valley not to save lives, but to silently witness a catastrophic tragedy unfold across the dark Ohio River? Decades have passed since those terrifying 13 months in 1966, yet the legend of the Mothman continues to fascinate researchers and thrill seekers around the globe. Today, Point Pleasant embraces its mysterious history, hosting an annual festival that draws thousands of visitors eager to celebrate the winged creature that put their town on the map. A towering metallic statue of the Mothman now stands proudly in downtown Point Pleasant, its glowing red eyes watching over tourists who pose for photographs beneath its wings. Beneath the festive atmosphere, however, older residents still remember the true cost of that winter. The scars left by the bridge collapse run deep within the community's collective memory. Cryptid researchers continue exploring the TNT bunkers and surrounding forests, searching for physical evidence or paranormal energy that might explain why the entity chose this specific valley. The story of the Mothman transcends a simple monster sighting. It represents our deep fascination with the unknown and our endless search for meaning within unexpected tragedies. Those who survived the encounters never wavered in their accounts. To their dying breath, the Scarberries and Mallets insisted they saw something impossible standing in the West Virginia fog. As folklore and eyewitness reality blurred together across the decades, the line between urban legend and historical truth becomes increasingly thin in the misty Ohio River Valley. The Mothman remains the crown jewel of modern American cryptozoology, inspiring books, feature films, and documentaries that examine the chilling events of 1966. Even now, travelers driving past the TNT area report sudden feelings of unease, glancing nervously into the dark tree line as if expecting those glowing red eyes to reappear. The woods keep their secrets well. No physical trace of the creature was ever recovered, leaving science and superstition locked in an endless debate across the West Virginia hills. Throughout history, catastrophic events have often been preceded by bizarre, inexplicable portents. Point Pleasant stands as perhaps the most famous and chilling example ever recorded. The waters of the Ohio River flow past Point Pleasant just as they did 50 years ago, carrying memories of a tragedy that forever altered the soul of a quiet American town. As we close this dark chapter of American folklore, the central enigma remains entirely unsolved, challenging everything we think we know about the boundaries of our reality. Whenever winter fog rolls over the riverbanks and night swallows the abandoned bunkers, locals still listen closely for a sound in the wind and the glow of crimson eyes. Was it a guardian spirit trying to stop a catastrophe, or a malevolent entity that lured the town into its doom? The truth remains buried beneath the dark waters. Look back at the 13 months of terror, the sightings, and the devastating bridge collapse. Did the Mothman come to warn Point Pleasant, or simply witness its fate? The legend of the Mothman endures as a chilling reminder that some mysteries defy explanation, waiting quietly in the shadows for the next generation of curious souls to discover. Do you believe the Mothman was a supernatural warning or a terrifying coincidence? Drop your thoughts in the comments below, share this story with a friend, and subscribe.